Hello students, in this video I am going to explain properties of perfect squares. Properties of perfect squares. Property 1. A number ending in 2, 3, 7 or 8 is never a perfect square. As for example, I am taking here 82 as a number, 93 as a number, 187 as a number, 248 as a number. You can see here 82 is ending in 2, 93 is ending in 3, 187 is ending in 7 and 248 is ending in 8. So this is the shortcut method to find out which number is a perfect square or which number is not a perfect square. And when a number ending in 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9, then that type of number is a perfect square. As for example, you can see here 81 or not, 64, 25, 36, 49. You can see these numbers are ending in 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9. And you know also these numbers are perfect squares. So a number ending in 2, 3, 7 or 8 is never a perfect square, and a number ending in 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9 is a perfect square. Property 2. A number ending in an odd number of zeros is never a perfect square. Obviously, first I am taking a number with 0 is a perfect square, like 100. You know this is a square of 10. So this is a perfect square. But if you are taking 10, this is not a perfect square. If you are taking 1 with 4 zeros, this is a square of 100 and it is a perfect square. But 1 with 3 zeros is not a perfect square. When you will calculate, you can find it. Number ending in an odd number of zeros is never a perfect square. For that, you can use prime factorization method. Already you know, and then you can check it. Property 3. If a number when divided by 3 leaves a remainder 2, then it is not a perfect square. Now first I am taking a perfect square. Suppose this is 81. I am adding 2 here because here we have to focus on remainder 2. So 2 more I am adding here, then you are getting 83. Now this 83 divide by 3. 3 2 ja 6. Okay. And 3 7 ja 21. You can see here remainder 2. You know 81 is a perfect square. I have given plus 2 here, means 83 is obviously not a perfect square. Like that 578, this is also not a perfect square. 617, this is also not a perfect square. 722, this is also not a perfect square. Like this you have to check the number. and when you are getting remainder as a 2, that number is not a perfect square. Now next property, property 4. If a number when divided by 4 leaves a remainder 2 or 3, then it is not a perfect square. Now I am taking a number 578 and dividing it by 4. Okay. So now you can see 4 1 ja 4, 1 and 7, 4 4 ja 16, 1 and 8, 4 4 ja 16, and then remainder 2, means this number is not a perfect square. Next number I am taking 655. I am dividing it by 4. 4 1 ja 4, 2 and 5 you have to write here. 4 6 ja 24, 1 and 5 write down here. 4 3 ja 12, then 3. Here you can see 3 is living as a remainder, means this number is also not a perfect square. By prime factorization method you can check it. These are shortcut methods to find out which number or which number is a perfect square or which number is not a perfect square. Property 5. The square of an even number is always even. So first take even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, like these numbers I have taken. They are squares. The square of an even number. Put squares here. I am putting here squares. Then calculate 4, 16, 36, 64. Now you can see 4, 16, 36 and 64 are even numbers. Hence, the square of an even number is always even. Property 6. The square of an odd number is always odd. For that, I am taking here odd numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. And then I am putting a square here. 1 square, 3 square, 5 square, 7 square, 9 square, 11 square. Now calculate 1 square 1, 3 square 9, 5 square 25, 7 square 49, 9 square 81, 11 square 121. And we know that 1, 9, 25, 49, 81, 121, these numbers are odd numbers. Hence, the square of an odd number is always odd. Property 7. The square of a proper fraction is smaller than the fraction. Proper fraction means numerator is smaller than denominator. Suppose I am taking 2 upon 3. Now the square of a proper fraction, now I am squaring it, means 2 square and then 3 square, means 4 upon 9. Now you have to check that the square of a proper fraction is smaller than the original fraction or not. This 4 upon 9 is smaller than 2 upon 3 or not. So for that, write here 2 upon 3 and 4 upon 9. Okay, now cross multiplication. 2 into 9 and 4 into 3. This is 18 and this is 12. 18 is greater than 12. Now send the denominators to their original places. 9 sent to the 4 and 3 sent to the 2. 2 upon 3 and 4 upon 9, and sign let it as it is. So here you can see 2 upon 3 is greater than 4 upon 9. Hence, the square of a proper fraction is smaller than the fraction. Here you can see 4 upon 9 is smaller than 2 upon 3. Next property, property 8. For every natural number n, we have n plus 1 whole square minus n square is equal to n plus 1 plus n. Now recall the algebraic identity a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. Using this identity, you can understand this expression. Okay, now I am taking a number. Here I am taking n is equal to 35, and according to the expression n plus 1 is equal to 35 plus 1 means 36. Now I am taking LHS side. LHS side, n plus 1 whole square minus n square. N plus 1 means 36 whole square minus 35 whole square. Here you can see this expression is similar to the algebraic identity a square minus b square, which is equal to a plus b, 36 plus 35 and 36 minus 35. Add it. This one is 71 into 1, which is equal to 71. Okay, this is LHS side. Now I am taking RHS side. N plus 1 plus n means 36 plus 35, which is equal to 71. You can see LHS is equal to RHS, means this expression is correct. So whenever you will get question in this form which follows this algebraic identity, nothing you have to do, simply add both numbers. Simply add both numbers, then you will get your correct answer. You can see here RHS side is the result, and in the RHS side you can observe n plus 1 means 36 and n means 35. Directly it is added. So whenever you will get a question in the form of first number is one more greater than the second number, first number is one more than the second number and minus sign is there, means if your question is follow this expression, algebraic expression a square minus b square, you have not to do much work. Simply add both numbers and then you will get your answer. Property 9. For every natural number n, we have sum of first n and odd natural numbers is equal to n square. N is here number of first n odd natural numbers. Suppose I am taking here first 3 odd natural numbers and I have to find out its sum. So obviously it is 9. How shall I do this one? I will do by adding each numbers. 1 plus 3, 4 and 4 plus 5, which is equal to 9. But here we have one shortcut method. Only count number of odd natural numbers, but first. Not from the middle, not from the last. From the first. Like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. You cannot take 11, 13, 15, 17, 19 like this. From the beginning. First n. First 3, first 5, first 7, first 10 like this. Means from 1 you have to start. So I have taken here first 3 odd natural numbers. This calculation you can do like this also. Number of odd natural numbers are here 3. When you will do n square means 3 square means 9. Like this also you can get the sum of n odd natural numbers. Now one more example. Suppose I am taking 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11 plus 13 plus 15 plus 17 like this number I have taken. So now you can understand this will take more time for adding these all the numbers and to get the sum. But here is a shortcut method. Simply count the number of first odd natural numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 odd natural numbers are here. Then 9 square, their sum is equal to 81. Simple. Property 10. 3 natural numbers m and p are said to form a Pythagorean triplet m and p if m square plus n square is equal to p square. A very popular triplets I am taking here 3, 4 and 5. M square n square is equal to p square. Check it. 3, 4, 5 are Pythagorean triplet or not. So suppose I have taken m3, n4 and p5. Then m square means 3 square, n square means 4 square is equal to 9 plus 16 is equal to 25, which is equal to 5 square means p square. So 3, 4, 5 are Pythagorean triplet. Now if you don't have any Pythagorean triplet and you have to find out, how will you do? For that, let me erase this one. For that, here you can see a shortcut formula. How to find out Pythagorean triplets? For every natural number m, where m is greater than 1, we have 2m, m square minus 1 and m square plus 1. This expression will give you Pythagorean triplets. As for example, I am taking the value for this variable m, suppose 4. Okay, then 2m is equal to 2 into 4, 8. M square minus 1 is equal to 4 square minus 1 means 16 minus 1 means 15. M square plus 1 is equal to 4 square plus 1, 16 plus 1, which is equal to 17. Now when you will put this 8, 15 and 17 into m square plus n square is equal to p square and it is satisfied, then you can say 8, 15 and 17 are Pythagorean triplet. So 8 square means m square. 64. N square means 15 square. 225. Add 64 means m square. 225 means n square. Add this both and then see what is coming. 549, 628, and this is 2. This 289 is the square of 17, means m square plus n square is equal to p square. And in the last property 11, between two consecutive square numbers n square and n plus 1 square, there are 2n non-perfect square numbers. Means, if you are taking two consecutive square numbers, suppose I am taking 4. This is a square of 2 and a square of 3 is 9. Okay, this is a square of 2 and 9 I am taking. This is a square of 3. So these are consecutive square numbers. Between them 2n non-perfect square. Okay, here n is 2. Here n is 2. Then 2n means 2 into 2 means 4 non-perfect square numbers are available. Now check n square and n plus 1 whole square. Okay, n is here 2 square, and n plus 1 means 3 square. Okay, this is 4 and this is 9. Between them, according to the rule, 2n non-perfect squares are available, means 4 non-perfect squares are available. Now count 5, 6, 7, 8, and the next number is 9. What are the number of these non-perfect square numbers? It is 4. I hope all of you understood these all properties nicely. Thank you.